Béni soit l'Éternel. Béni soit l'Éternel. Béni soit l'Éternel. Et dans nos positions pour nous prier, bon Dieu, à soi. Dis bon Dieu, tout ça qui n'a qu'à à soi. Pour nous faire grande prière avec ses venants pour la gloire de Dieu.
Dieu est pour nous un refuge et un appui, un secours qui ne manque jamais dans la détresse. Seigneur éternel Dieu, Papa, nous qui vivons dans le ciel, nous approchons nous bien bas encore devant à soi, éternel Dieu. Nous remercions d'être que depuis matin, on est ensemble avec nous et nous t'as béni ensemble, Seigneur. Et nous retournons à soi encore, éternel Dieu, pour continuer, éternel Dieu, et chercher et présence, pour continuer, éternel Dieu, adorer ou pour continuer, bon gloire. Et parce que nous connaissons, nous ne pouvons pas bénir en retour. Papa, nous disons merci pour ça. Assurez nous présenter devant éternel Dieu, l'église baptiste Morija, qui nous tout ensemble, éternel Dieu, réunis dans une seule voix, éternel Dieu, côté pour nous venir ensemble, venir adorer, oui, éternel Dieu. Merci à soi pour le service de la jeunesse, côté éternel Dieu, et vous permettre, éternel Dieu, que vous capable de camper, éternel Dieu, pour diriger, éternel Dieu, choisir des chants, éternel Dieu, pour chanter, pour faire louange, monter bon côté au Seigneur Dieu. Papa, merci, éternel Dieu, pour chaque monde qui est réuni dans cette salle-là. Parce que, Seigneur Dieu, si nous pas de besoin de bagaille, bon côté, et nous t'arrêter, Seigneur Dieu, chaque monde ta proposition, la caillou, nous t'arrêter, chaque monde t'a dit, oh, ma prière, la caille, moi. Mais, Seigneur, nous avons nécessité pour nous joindre ensemble. Au lieu de rendez-vous, Seigneur Dieu, c'est dans ton plan. Côté éternel Dieu, mettez-nous ensemble, côté nous marrer-nous ensemble, éternel Dieu, pour nous capables de venir adorer, papa. Nous, ça, Seigneur Dieu, nous lever, éternel Dieu, entièrement, éternel Dieu, chaque monde, éternel Dieu, qui a désir, éternel Dieu, et pour camper dans la présence, Seigneur Dieu, pour parler, pour adorer, Seigneur Dieu, pour faire quoi que ce soit, éternel Dieu, dans le nom, éternel Dieu, parce que nous connaissons besoin de monde, éternel Dieu, pour travailler pour nous-mêmes, éternel Dieu, besoin de monde, Seigneur Dieu, pour camper, éternel Dieu, dans le moment, dans le temps difficile, éternel Dieu, papa. Seigneur, mais nous devons asseoir, nous lever, éternel Dieu, héberger l'église, éternel Dieu, qui parle à soi, ensemble avec toute famille, la côté nous demandons que bénédiction capable de couvrir, capable de remplir, éternel Dieu, permettre que vous sentiez, vous manquez, éternel Dieu, et place ça, présence de ta douée, place ça. Et papa, nous disons merci pour ça, éternel Dieu. Papa, nous bénis, nous exaltés. Nous prions, éternel Dieu, pour chaque monde, éternel Dieu, qui est dans cette salle là. Il y a qui vient là, éternel Dieu, et c'est pas parce que, éternel Dieu, il n'y a pas de problème, non, mais vous voulez là, vous voulez, c'est dans le temple, côté pour nous tous ensemble réunis, côté Seigneur Dieu, pour nous avoir gloire ensemble. C'est comme ça, bénédiction. Capable de tomber ensemble, éternel Dieu, dans mi-temps, nous croyons qu'il y a des gens qui sont malades, dans mi-temps, nous là, Seigneur Dieu, qui font un pile effort, qui déplacent pour venir, c'est pas problème pied, c'est problème genou, c'est pas problème genou, c'est problème subtension, c'est problème l'autre qualité problème, éternel Dieu, travail, fatigue, éternel Dieu, toutes ces, Seigneur Dieu, problèmes qui sont capables d'empêcher, rester la caille, mais Seigneur Dieu, pour une raison, pour l'autre, nous venons ensemble dans le temple pour nous adorer, éternel Dieu, nous lever, éternel Dieu, et ça, qui est malade, qui pas capable, éternel Dieu, et nous pas prier, éternel Dieu, c'est Isman Joseph, papa, la côté lié dans le moment ça, nous demandons, s'il vous plaît, papa, on va dire la paix avec elle, toucher le pour nous, éternel Dieu, nous connaissons thérapie, on va venir à faire par eux, mais nous-mêmes, c'est bon Dieu, c'est nous-mêmes qui fait nous, c'est nous-mêmes qui forme nous, nous connaissons toute connexion, éternel Dieu, là on va garder connecté dans le corps, papa, nous demandons, s'il vous plaît, on va visiter, on va passer sous lui, béni petit lui, éternel Dieu, Chelsea, oh éternel Dieu, Steve, éternel Dieu, frère Style, éternel Dieu, oh dans un moment difficile ça, papa, nous demandons qu'il y ait dans grâce, oh approche pour nous, éternel Dieu, papa, nous demandons pour tout ça qui est nécessaire, yo à faire, parce que éternel Dieu, c'est bon côté pour nous venir, éternel Dieu, ou dit nous pas qu'à faire rien sans présence, et nous pas qu'à faire rien sans vous, papa, bon Dieu, et c'est dans la prière pour nous joindre toute bagaille, c'est la prière qui va repos, c'est la prière qui va la paix, c'est la prière dans la prière nous joindre, Seigneur Dieu, de nous approcher, approcher, éternel Dieu. C'est moyen de communication, nous ensemble avant, papa. Si nous ne pas communiquer avant, éternel Dieu, même là, nous connaissons qu'on bagaille, mais on demande pour nous approcher, pour nous parler avant. Parce que, éternel Dieu, c'est vous-même qui a fait pour nous, éternel Dieu. Papa, nous lever chacun, servante. Papa, nous pas oublier, c'est Lucien, éternel Dieu, qui est un accident, ça, qui est enraché, papa. Jean-François, éternel Dieu. Et tant d'autres encore, éternel Dieu, que nous pas connaissons, qui traversé des moments difficiles. Ça, qui dans la sinou, qui dans l'hôpital, il y a besoin de secours, il y a besoin de monde moyen, il y a besoin de monde pour virer, il y a besoin de passer mais encore. Papa, nous demandons au nom de Jésus, papa, visitez-vous pour nous, Seigneur Dieu, parce qu'au fidèle, oui, éternel Dieu, au fidèle, éternel Dieu, au réel. Papa, nous comptons sous présence, nous comptons sous grâce, éternel Dieu. Nous demandons va jeter onction divine, éternel Dieu, dans mi-temps et assembler ça, dans mi-temps la jeunesse, éternel Dieu, au cap travail pour vous-même, éternel Dieu, ça au cap qui dans team, éternel Dieu, musiciens, nous, Seigneur Dieu, au prédicateur, nous assois, éternel Dieu, nous demandons va servir avec l'éternel Dieu, comme un micro, éternel Dieu, c'est comme un agile qui dans mon potier, éternel Dieu, ou pas la forme que vous voulez, parce que c'est vous-même qui connaît et la forme qui est assemblée à prendre à soi, éternel Dieu, c'est vous-même qui va bailler, éternel Dieu. Cet esprit va faire distribution à vous, non, parce que c'est cet esprit qui connaît chaque cœur, qui est dans la salle là, et qui connaît ça, chaque monde doit recevoir, éternel Dieu, permettre que vous va bénir, éternel Dieu, c'est comme ça, nous tous qui là, Seigneur Dieu, nous va bénir. Papa, nous mettons tout le service à l'amour, papa, mon Dieu, et ça que nous pas dit, éternel Dieu, on va ajouter au bout nous, parce que grand pile bagaille nous t'a parlé ensemble avec vous si nous t'apprend Dieu Seigneur Dieu soya mais nous connaissons chaque moment yo c'est un moment et nous prions Seigneur Dieu dans moment ça on va rester assister nous visitez nous restez avec nous éternel Dieu nous demandons présence au câble là entourez-nous par devant et par derrière papa chéri jetez la pluie de la première et de l'arrière saison dans mi-temps assemblée mon Morija et c'est comme ça nous va grandir nous va développer éternel Dieu spirituellement nous va développer Seigneur Dieu nous va grandir numériquement éternel Dieu papa et c'est comme ça travail là capable avancer et chaque monde qui dans salle là va gagner le désir puis on mettre main dans le travail va gagner nécessité puis on travaille pour même parce qu'on relève nous éternel Dieu pour nous capables servir que nous capables au service de l'autre et c'est comme ça youn capable porter paquet l'autre youn capable souffrir ensemble avec l'autre youn capable réjouir ensemble avec l'autre bon nous unité mettez l'amour dans mi-temps nous Seigneur Dieu parce que si nous unis nous gagnons l'amour dans mi-temps nous c'est comme ça nous va arrêter nous va voltiger c'est comme ça nous va arrêter nous va grandir et c'est comme ça Seigneur Dieu on va passer avec nous dans l'autre niveau on va passer avec nous dans l'autre dimension papa nous compter sur vous nous compter sur présence nous compter sur qualité et puissance que vous gagnez éternel Dieu parce qu'on pas jamais perdre puissance papa c'est parce que nous bonnes nous disons mais nous prions au nom de Jésus amen 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 amen
Alléluia gloire Jésus
N'a demandé au cher passer devant pour faire offrande pour la gloire de Dieu. Assure you pour offrande. C'est Maggie prier pour nous.
Merci Seigneur pour grâce et faveur qu'on fait nous. Merci Seigneur pour miséricorde et bonté. Merci pour l'amour que vous avez nous. Et c'est l'amour ça qui fait que à soir nous là pour nous venir continuer à adorer. Seigneur, nous pour l'adorer avec poche nous. Bon nous moyens, bon nous l'argent Seigneur pour capable mettre dans corps là. Certes, on pas besoin d'argent, mais travail qu'on a fait, on a besoin d'argent. Multiplier comme ça et monde qui pas à soir pour capable prochaine fois Seigneur, il va mettre avec joie. Au nom de Jésus, nous t'adressons cette prière. Amen.
On nous camper avec moi pour nous capables de louer bon Dieu à soi. Pendant Jésus était sous la mer avec disciples dans yon ti Kenol yo t'a voyagé. Pendant Jésus était sous la mer avec disciples dans yon ti Kenol yo t'a voyagé. En ces temps-là, yon tempête élevée. En ces temps-là, yon tempête élevée. Jésus t'est dans dormi, Pierre t'est perdu la foi. Lui dit c'est yo nan yon ti konot, yo t'a voyagé. Pendant Jésus était sous la mer, avec disciples yo nan yon ti konot, yo t'a voyagé. En ces temps-là, yon tempête élevée. En ces temps-là, yon tempête élevée. Jésus t'est non dormi, bien t'es perdu la foi. Lui dit Seigneur, même ma pays. Jésus t'est non dormi, bien t'es perdu la foi. Lui dit Seigneur, même ma pays. Même ma péri, 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 même ma péri. Jésus t'est non dormi, Pierre t'est perdu la foi. Lui dit Seigneur, même ma péri. Jésus t'est non dormi, Pierre t'est perdu la foi. Lui dit Seigneur, même ma péri, 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 même ma péri. Montagne, mais vin pi haut, soleil va lever. Vallée, mais vin pi fort, bon Dieu va faire en haut. Montagne, mais vin pi haut, soleil va lever. Vallée, mais vin pi fort, bon Dieu va faire en, bon Dieu va faire en route, bon Dieu va faire, bon Dieu va faire en route, bon Dieu va faire, l'Éternel va faire en route, l'Éternel va faire, bon Dieu va faire en route, bon Dieu va faire, Jésus va faire en route, Jésus va faire, l'Éternel va faire en route, l'Éternel va faire, bon Dieu va faire en route, bon Dieu va faire, Jéhovah va faire en route, Jéhovah va faire, l'Éternel va faire en route, l'Éternel va faire, El Shaddai va faire en route, El Shaddai va faire, Jéhovah va faire en route, Jéhovah va faire, bon Dieu va faire en route, bon Dieu va faire en route. Montagne, mais vin pi haut, soleil pas levé. Vallée, mais vin pi fort, bon Dieu va faire, bon Dieu va faire en route, bon Dieu va faire, l'Éternel va faire en route, l'Éternel va faire, roi des gloires va faire en route, roi des gloires va faire, Jéhovah va faire en route, Jéhovah va faire, bon Dieu va faire en route, bon Dieu va faire, Jéhovah va faire en route, Jéhovah va faire, bon Dieu va faire en route, bon Dieu va faire, l'Éternel va faire en route, l'Éternel va faire en route. Brillez Jésus, brillez, brillez Jésus, brillez Jésus, brillez, 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 qu'aime Jésus, qu'aime, sauve Jésus, sauve. Pas pour l'été, comme c'est pour qu'arriver. Seulement Jésus qui a fait vivre pas passer mal. Qu'un bel qui fait pour capable triompher. Qu'un bel Jésus, qu'un bel Jésus. Brillez Jésus, brillez, brillez Jésus, brillez. Qu'un bel Jésus, qu'un bel Jésus, qu'un bel. Sauvez Jésus, sauvez, sauvez Jésus, sauvez. Si ouais m'a chanté, tout ça c'est pour Calvary. Si ouais m'a chanté, tout ça c'est pour Calvary. Si ouais m'a brillé, tout ça c'est pour Calvary. Si ouais m'a brillé, tout ça c'est pour Calvary. Si ouais m'a dansé, tout ça c'est pour Calvary. Si ouais m'a dansé, tout ça c'est pour Calvary. Si ouais m'a brillé, tout ça c'est pour Calvary. Si ouais m'a brillé, tout ça c'est pour Calvary. Qu'un bel Jésus, qu'un bel Sauvez Jésus, sauvez. Sauvez Jésus, sauvez. Brillez Jésus, brillez. Clairez Jésus, clairez. Sauvez Jésus, sauvez. Qu'un bel Jésus, qu'un bel. Qu'un bel Jésus, qu'un bel. Sauvez Jésus, sauvez. Qu'un bel Jésus, qu'un bel. Sauvez Jésus, sauvez. Sauvez Jésus, sauvez. Si ouais m'a chanté, tout ça c'est pour Calvary. Si ouais m'a brillé, tout ça c'est pour Calvary. Si ouais m'a loué, tout ça c'est pour Calvary. Si ouais m'a loué, tout ça c'est pour Calvary. Si ouais m'a chanté, tout ça c'est pour Calvary. Si ouais m'a brillé, tout ça c'est pour Calvary. Si ouais m'a chanté, tout ça c'est pour Calvary. Si ouais m'a brillé, tout ça c'est pour Calvary. Qu'un bel Jésus, qu'un bel. Qu'un bel Jésus, qu'un bel. Sauvez Jésus, sauvez. Sauvez Jésus, sauvez. Sauvez Jésus, sauvez Jésus. Amen. On nous dit béni soit l'Éternel. Béni soit l'Éternel. Béni soit l'Éternel. Merci nous Karachita pour nous faire place avec Pasteur Otella pour les annonces et les suites nécessaires.
Bonsoir frères et sœurs. Nous disons bon Dieu merci pour l'occasion ça nous en plus à soir. Du fait que nous retournons dans le temple là. Il y en a nous qui là matin. Il y en a qui partent là à cause du travail, mais bon Dieu, bonne nous chance. Nous venons clôturer la journée là dans le temple là. Son grâce en plus. Et nous encourager à chaque fois qu'on vient une occasion, nous venons adorer mon Dieu, pas négliger. Même dévouement on gagne pour travail là. Bon Dieu pas prendre pour pas travail, mais l'attend pour manifester même dévouement ça dans le temps on gagne pour lire. La paix bon Dieu avec. Ça veut dire qui ça? Ça veut dire moi-même avec. Même effort nous fait pour nous capables à l'heure dans le travail là, on déployer même effort ça pour nous à l'heure dans le service bon Dieu. Bon Dieu attend ça dans même. Pas dit nous pour nous pas travailler, au contraire, la Bible a dit moun qui pas travail et de me dire ça. Pas de manger, bon Dieu pas d'accord par ça. Bon Dieu voulait que tout le monde travaille pour manger. Au contraire, demander pour nous travailler, pour nous gagner, pour nous aider l'autre monde. Et il demande nous pour nous travailler. C'est important pour nous travailler, mais on nous fait effort pour nous déployer, même effort pour travailler là. Même gens, leur après le travail, on va garder réveil là. pour capable en retard, faire même effort alors venir l'église. Vous voulez faire ça? Si vous décidez de faire comme ça, vous pourrez bon Dieu avoir plus force. Parce que c'est bon Dieu qui a force pour aller travailler là. C'est lui-même qui attend nous tout dans le jour qui vient dans ce service là, l'a regarder pour voir avec qui. Est-ce qu'on fait avec même dévouement ou bien est-ce qu'on fait négligence là-dedans? Parce que des fois, il y a des gens qui bien contents, chaque jour, ils levé à le travail, malgré fatigue, car n'a pas jamais gagné dans le travail. Mais quand c'est joué l'église là, je ne sens pas capable de matin. Alors, bon Dieu attend même dévouement ça là même. Songez ça. Songez ça parce que c'est important. Nous voulons accueillir visiteurs, si nous avons un monde qui visite nous pour la première fois dans le temple là. Nous sommes bien contents de camper et puis l'église t'a salué, l'église là t'a identifié lui. Ça t'a fait un plaisir. Si jamais pas gagné un visiteur, nous disons bon Dieu merci du fait que nous tous ces monde la caille. Toute gloire pour bon Dieu et nous encourager aux gens nous sommes dit là on nous fait effort pour même effort nous déployer pour travailler là, nous déployer également pour service bon Dieu parce que c'est bon Dieu qui donne nous force pour notre travail. La paix bon Dieu avec. Nous voulons féliciter jeunesse là pour le travail qu'elle a fait dans le temple. Nous comprenons l'intérêt qui était gagné dans la série de conférences sur sont offrir de la peur à la foi. Côté que les chrétiens connaissent, les chrétiens nous rappellent nous pour nous connaître. Nous n'avons pas besoin de peur en rien parce que force qui est avec nous est plus fort. Vous comprenez? Bon Dieu a demeuré plus grand. Il est le roi des rois, le seigneur des seigneurs. C'est ça que nous compter dans lui, nous n'avons pas besoin de peur en rien. Devant n'importe quelle situation, nous mettons avancer par la foi, la délivrer nous là-dedans. Parce que lui, c'est bon Dieu délivrance. Là. En termes d'annonce, nous connaissons, si quelqu'un qui suivre nous, dans l'église baptiste, Evangelique Baptiste Morija, nous avons 5 services dans la semaine. Nous avons 2 services le dimanche matin et dimanche soir. Et nous avons service de louange et de témoignage le mardi soir, 7h30 pour 9h30. Les jeudis, nous avons études dans le temple là, 7h30, 9h30. Et les samedis matin, nous avons un service de jeûne qui commençait 7h du matin pour midi. Nous encourageons pour capable faire tout ça qui dépend de vous pour participer dans le service. Et j'en nous dire là, si bon Dieu est dévouement, eh bien, la bonne plus force pour le travail et la bonne plus force pour capable adorer, louer. Et bon Dieu, il nous garantit, il pas manger courage monde. D'ailleurs, il dit qu'il honorer monde qui honore. On nous honore mon Dieu et mon Dieu lui-même il va honorer nous. Et comme ça, pendant toute la vie, nous avons une possibilité pour nous capables d'adorer le plus. Nous allons avancer pour nous capables de bailler serviteurs qui doivent prêcher pour nous. Son grâce en plus, bon Dieu permet que l'église là gagne des nouveaux prédicateurs qui peuvent avancer pour gloire. C'est Frère Jason qui gagne pour capable prêcher pour nous asseoir. Ah oui, son grâce en plus. Son grâce en plus. Et nous voulons balayer assez d'espace qui pour permettre que bon Dieu va utiliser selon besoin nous. Nous ne pas voulons coincer du tout. Nous voulons quitter en dedans en tranche d'heure pour bon Dieu permettre que Saint-Esprit va utiliser selon besoin nous. Frère Jason, bon Dieu béni.
La
avec bon Dieu avec nous? Est-ce que nous entendons? Perfect, perfect. C'est un plaisir là, I swear. You see the Creole got a little better. I'm going to try to speak a little bit more Creole tonight. But c'est un plaisir là, I swear. Ma prêché pour la jeunesse. Nous te voyons un thème qui te dit la foi, la paix à la foi. From fear to faith. And for me to begin tonight, I'm going to read in Psalm 27. But before I read in Psalm 27, I want to say it's really a grace for me to be here tonight. I want to thank my pastors. I want to thank my youth members who was able to believe in me again for me to preach for you guys again tonight. And it's really a pleasure. Not only did grace go to us, but all glory goes to God. So we're going to begin by reading Psalm 27. Psalm 27 reads like this. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Who should I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom should I be afraid? When evildoers came against me to devour my flesh, my foes and my enemies stumbled and fell. Though an army deploy against me, my heart is not afraid. Though war break out against me, still I am confident. Lord in the heavens, I ask you to come within us, come within the temple. We invite you to the message that will be preached out tonight, Lord. Allow us to realize that it is not us that is speaking, but it's simply you using us as a medium, as a tool for us to get the message out to the people that is in the population tonight. I ask you to touch the hearts of the youth, whether from old to young, old to old to new, new to old. I ask you to touch them and ask you to bless their heart. Allow the words not to simply fly as a word on a regular day, but allow the word to stop, pierce the heart, and allow them to apply the words that are being said in order for them to function and become a new person and a better person for your glory and for your temple, Lord. Once again, I ask you to guide us, I ask you to speak for us. Even though we may not speak, I ask you to speak and I ask you to guide us and push us through, Lord. We are nobody perfect, but we pray to you through the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. All right. As I stated before, the term for tonight is fear to faith. La paix à la foi. Qui sac la paix? What is fear? The definition of fear that I'm going to use tonight is the definition from Google. A little simple English definition on what fear is. We can see that fear can be defined as an emotion caused by an anticipation of what could happen. Like, if you don't eat for 5 days, you may be scared and be like, I might die because I haven't ate for 5 days. It's a feeling that we feel. Fear is simply just a feeling. A couple of synonyms that can, synonym, qui can define fear is things like distress, anxiety, or panic. If you find yourself, you're constantly in shock and scared, what's going to happen next? You're living in fear. You're not living by faith. We got to be able to understand these things. Fear, going from fear to faith, it really takes time. You're going from one side all the way to the other side. There will be many trials in your life. You'll be able to see, you'll be like, you know what? Let me armor myself up. Let me pull myself closer to God. Fear can have a hold on our life. Fear can stop you from reaching new heights. You can be scared to jump, but the Lord wants to take you. He wants you to jump you higher. When you let go of that fear, you'll be able to feel free. You'll be able to levitate. You'll be able to fly. And nobody won't be able to tell you anything. Now, faith can be defined as a complete trust or a complete confidence in something or someone. Everybody in this church, I believe we are Christian. So our something or someone is God, the Almighty, the one who's omnipresent. He's all-knowing. He knows everything. He knows our hearts. He knows everything that we're doing. That is who we confide in. That's who I put our faith in. I can't say, you know what, I put faith in my mom, etc. Oh, my mom, I got faith in my mom. Having faith in my mom is simply not going to get me into heaven. Having faith for who she believes in, which is God, is going to get me into heaven. Là où la foi, ou pas gagner la foi dans au monde pas eux, parce que la vivre et la gagne pour mourir. Mais bon Dieu, il est toujours à vivre et il est toujours là pour l'éternité. Yes, there you go, perfect. Now, tonight we're going to see the story from fear to faith from Gideon. N'a pas en histoire de Gédéon qui était allé de la paix à la foi. Okay, good. So nous met ouvrir Bible nous sur Juge chapitre 6. Judges chapter 6. So I'm gonna just, it's gonna be like just a little story. We're just gonna go over it and we're gonna see how he went from fear to faith. So during this time period, the Israelites were getting demolished by the Midianites. The Midianites were the people who were a little bit higher than the Israelites. Everything they had stored up, they always take it. Tout ba yo te gen pou yo manger, Midianites la yo pon li. Tout ba yo te posséder, Midianites yo pon yo. Et ne qui te fait Israelites yo rete dans paix, dans la paix. Tout temps yo paix. Everybody is scared. People are dying left and right. Everything, all the provisions you can think of, everything's getting stolen. You can say, you know what? Let me save this rice for tomorrow. The Midianites will come in, they take your rice, now you have no food to live. And now you're on your verge of dying. Everybody, as I said, everybody was suffering. Everybody was living in fear. Israel was left shesh. They're dry. There was nothing in there because the Midianites kept on taking everything. You place a flour here, they take the flour. You place this one here, they're gonna take it. You place a bottle of water here, they're gonna take it. Everything you place money here, they're gonna take it. They was living in fear. There was nothing they was able to do. Everybody's crying. Everybody don't know what's going on. What did they do to deserve this? So, like everybody else, when things get so tough, everything gets so rough, you can't call to a person. Le bayo vin difficile, ou pa ka ale kodon moun, parce que li pa konnen sa pou faire. Okay? So, like everybody did, the Israelites, they called upon God. Israelites yo te rele de a bon Dieu. Man, the Lord sent a prophet to Israel. He said, I got you out of Egypt. I delivered you from the hands of your enemies. I did this for you. We can see it. It says, I got you away from your enemies. I drove you out the hands of the Egyptians. I gave you the land that they had, and I drove them out of that land. We got to see that. God did so much things for the Israelites. And then God, when you do something, there's going to be a consequence. As I stated before, every action has a consequence. The Israelites acting like they don't know what they did for them to deserve this. But all God simply said is, do not worship any other God before me. And what the Israelites did, they worshiped any other God before God. Bon Dieu seulement te mande yo, pas idoliser l'autre monde que moi. Mais Israelites yo pas tande, and c'est ça qui te happen. That's what happened to the Israelites. Now everybody, oh my gosh, what's going on? What's going on? The prophet is here. They don't know what's going on. Now, the prophet came on one day to a tree, the tree that belonged to Joash, the son of Joash the Abizarite, who he had a son named Gideon. 11 gens qui étaient venus à côté petit Joash là, qui était Gédéon. Gédéon, he was a person, as everything is going on, he was hiding behind. He was hiding behind making the wheat, trying to hide it away from the Israelites, trying to hide it away from the Amalekites and from the Midianites. Il t'a caché. 11 gens au chez lui, il t'a caché en bas en paper, just like that. And then the Lord came to him. He said, the Lord will be with you. And then Gideon, just like us, God, why are we going through all of this? God, where's the bon Dieu now? Bon Dieu nous? Bon Dieu yo te parlé. Bon Dieu qui te sauvé peuple là. Where is he? Where is he? Where's our God? Where's the God my mom is talking about? Where's the God my dad's talking about? The one that delivered me from the desert. Where is he? Where is that God we're talking about? The Lord replied to him. We can see it in Judges 6, verse 14. The Lord had turned to him. He said, Go in the strength you have and save Israel out of Midian's hand. Am I not sending you? And then following that after it says, Pardon me, my Lord. Gideon replied, But how can I save Israel? My clan is the weakest of Manasseh, and I'm the least in my family. Gédéon t'a crié par bon Dieu, qui s'en pour faire? Qui moun k'ap sauver nous? Bon Dieu dit, c'est vous-même k'ap sauver yo. And then Gideon stopped, he said, No way. It's not true. Me, the one that was hiding away from the Midianites, when qui te caché, et pas moi. And we can take this like, let me see. We can take this as a person who, just a random person. Say that I pick on, let me see, my brother. They call my brother for him to DJ. Me, I don't know no songs. The Lord didn't ask you if you didn't know any songs. He just say, come on so you can DJ. When I first started preaching, even though it's my second time, it's my second time tonight. They said, oh, Jason, we're going to need you to preach for us. We're going to need you to preach. I'm sitting there and say, is it me for real? I barely know the Bible all the way. But when you get up here, when the Lord is working with you, he's going to put the words in your mouth. He's really going to, like today I woke up. Today I woke up, my head was hurting. Like after I came back from church, my head was hurting. I'm trying to write down what I was about to say. But then again, I know who I believe in and I know who I serve. I know the story and I'll be able to tell it through the Lord, not only by myself. If it was by myself, I wouldn't be able to be up here today. So the Lord is calling. Gideon does not believe it. No, it's no way. No way. I don't know how to DJ. This is my first song. Let me go practice my voice. The Lord didn't ask you if you didn't know how to DJ. Li pa mande sou ka DJ or si ou connaît toute Bible là. Li vle utilize ou. So you let him use you. So when Gideon said this, Gideon replied, if now I have found favor in your eyes, give me a sign that it is you really talking to me. Please do not go away until I come back and bring my offering and set it before you. Just like Gideon's a human, just like I am. If I heard something like that, Jason, go this way and go do that way. I'm going to say, hold up. Let me get a sign, please, so I can really know if this is me for real. I never sung a service in my life. Is it me for real that the person is? Just like us. Just imagine they say, you know what? I'm going to take you and I want you to go preach in Haiti. Me? Go preach in Haiti? When? I got to see a sign. And that's the sign we must, because us humans, we always want signs. Nous toujours voulons un signe pour nous voir si li vrai. So, Gideon went, and he went to prepare an offering for the Lord. He went to go get bread. He put a goat, and he gave it to the Lord. And then the Lord talked to him. He said, take the meat and the unleavened bread and place it on this rock and pour out the broth. And Gideon did so. The angel of the Lord touched the meat, and the fire came up. And Gideon realized that the Lord is true and realized that this is his calling, from fear to faith. Even though he hasn't truly accepted it yet, it may look like he's on faith, but he's still in fear. We're going to see this. We're going to see even later. And then the Lord asked him to do certain instructions. He told him to go destroy his father's Joash, the altar to Baal, which is the devil in the time period who was just roaming around, killing people, etc. He took that, and he was told to build an altar for the Lord. So Gideon did as so. He built an offer. He built a little petit temple pour Seigneur, pour les balgas. So he did so, and he went to destroy the altar of Baal, and he destroyed the people with the Asherah pole. Now everybody see that the temple was being destroyed by Gideon. They don't know what's going on, who did this, who did that. And then they said, you know what, it was the son of Joash, Gideon. Now everybody's going crazy. Everybody want to know what's going on, who gave him the authority to destroy that. When you break something that somebody has, they're going to look for you. They're going to try to almost kill you almost. So they try to look for him. They don't know what's going on, to the point Gideon's name went from Gideon to Jerubbaal, which is his pagan name. And then it says, Gideon, as he did those things, then the Lord kept on talking to him. And then the Lord came through on Gideon, and he blew a trumpet, and everybody followed him. And that's how it began. And then, as I said, we're all humans. You wouldn't believe what Gideon did next. Gideon said, Lord, please send me another sign. Seigneur, vous voyez un autre signe pour moi, s'il vous plaît, so I can see if this is true, if this is my calling. And God did it so. Gideon said, okay, I'm going to place a wool on the floor, and if there's water on the fleece and the ground is dry, then I will know that you are the one who sent me. So Gideon did it so. He woke up next morning, and he seen that all the ground is dry, and the piece of things that he placed on the floor was wet. Gideon see this. Yet, even though he's walking towards faith, he still fear. Because the next day again, Gideon goes and say, can I get another sign, please? So I can really see, is this me for real? Can I get another sign, please? And Lord was patient with Gideon. He said, okay, I'm going to give you another sign again. So he says, he put the fleece on the floor, but this time, he said, make the fleece dry and the area around it wet. Gideon went, sleep. He woke up next morning. He seen exactly what he said. That really assures him that this is his calling, this is what he's supposed to do. And we can learn from Gideon. And it's normal. We may doubt ourselves, and we may be like, you know what, this is not for me, this can't be for me. Lord, I need a sign, I need to see this is true. I can't see you, but I got to see, is it true? Is it true? Is this me? Is this what I'm supposed to do? Nous toujours voulons voir un signe. Nous toujours voulons voir si ça, c'est pour nous lier. If that calling is for me. And we see this, we see just so, and we see how patient the Lord is with their servant. You may be asking for something, but Lord want to show you patience. He want to call upon you, and you may be doubtful, but he will be patient with you. Even though you may not believe in yourself, the Lord will believe in yourself for you. Nobody else don't have to believe in yourself but you and the Lord. And the Lord will give you that strength. He will give you that favor. So Gideon, he did just so. So the Lord talked to Gideon, and he was going to establish an army of 32,000 men. 32,000 moun. Pour yo ka fight against moun Midianites yo, qui te gen approximately 130,000 moun, 130,000 people. Can you imagine? You're a person who was doing this, hiding behind for the people that's going to kill you, for you to face up against them, and there's a big army in front of you, and you took 32,000 men to fight 130,000 people? I'm not a mathematician, but that's a lot of people. 130,000 people passé 32,000. But you wouldn't believe what God did next. The Lord said to Gideon, you got too much people. I'm going to need you to decrease it. Bon Dieu dit, ou gen trop moun oui. Ou gen trop moun oui. We got to diminish it. And then the Lord told Gideon to go talk to the people. He told Gideon to tell people, if you are scared, go ahead, you can go home. We're not going to beat you up. Nous pas battre. S'il vous plaît, vous mettez aller. You wouldn't believe how much people got up. About 20,000. 20,000 people got up and left, leaving Gideon, 22,000 people left, leaving Gideon with 10,000 men. 10,000 moun, who you can fight somebody who has 130,000 moun. That's like 3 times as much as people. Not even 3 times, it's a lot of times much. And they got to fight, and you wouldn't believe it. And you wouldn't believe what the Lord said next to Gideon. 10,000 moun, so I thought, that's too much people. 10,000 people is too much for me to go fight. And I was stuck on it. I said, why is God giving him so much less people? Why is he doing this less and less and less? Why is he doing that to Gideon? You know, Gideon was a person who was hiding behind. Why would he take so much people from Gideon? And I couldn't realize it. I was looking at it today. I was talking to Dasha. I said, hey, what's going on? Why? I'm trying to think about why he did this. Is it because when you're walking from fear to faith, there's some people you're going to have to leave? You can approach it that way. Là, marcher à la paix à la foi, gen quelques moun ou besoin quitter, ou ka aller all the way. Man, I sat down, I looked. He didn't do this because of that. He did this to confirm the faith. And he did this so Gideon don't forget who told him, or Gideon don't forget how he won. Il pas vle Gideon pour gen orgueil and say, hey, I won this one. C'est moi qui t'ai gagné bataille là. If I won, you know what I mean? So that's why he was able to diminish it. Even though Gideon brought 32,000 people, Gideon was still afraid. He was still afraid. Because if Gideon wasn't afraid, he wouldn't take all the 32,000 people. Gideon would have took what the Lord gave him. So it's like it's like si thump note noir. If it was in the dark and I say, Tasha over now, Martha, come with me in the church. It's kind of dark. Can y'all come with me? The Lord's gonna be like, no. You can go by yourself. You can go by yourself. So I'm gonna have to be able to go by myself. Even though I'm scared, I still gotta go by myself. And the Lord put these people through tests. From the 10,000 people, the way the Lord was able to change the 10,000 people to the 300 Gideon got, he told Gideon, he said, Gideon, go to the water, make the men drink water. Watch the people who drink with their hands cupped, and watch the people who put their mouth all the way to the water to drink. Gideon did this, and then there was 300 people who drank with cupped hands. Like this. Like a dog. Like they was lapping it like this. God seen that, and he said, these are the people you're going to fight the Midianites with. When God say things, it's not easy to just go along with it. Because I'm human. I'm human. If I had to take 300 people with me to go fight 130,000 people, sans tot mille monde, and I'm seulement get 300 monde, not movie comme ça, like this. They can just circle us and we all die. I don't know what I'm gonna say. What I'm gonna tell God? Not to movie. That's crazy. So he took the 300, but yet again, the Lord was still with Gideon. The Lord was not gonna let Gideon die like that. The Lord was still with him. Seigneur va camper avec nous, là toujours là avec nous. Ou pas que c'est père, ou pas que c'est temple. I remember it. Deuteronomy 31:8. We was learning it in the class. The Lord is still there. The Lord promised to be with Gideon, and when God makes a promise, the promise will still stand. He doesn't make a promise for you to be like, you know what? Never mind. I'm not going to do this no more. Gideon wasn't a perfect person. We know that. Gideon wasn't a perfect person, but God still utilized Gideon. God still used Gideon, even if Gideon didn't believe in himself. And that's what I like about God. He's really a person. So he sent Gideon to deliver them. Now, as I said, Gideon was still scared, even though he had 300 people. God talked to him. He said, okay, I want you to go to the camp tonight, and I want you to listen to something. Listen to a conversation, or listen to a dream. He said, if you're scared, you can take your person. You can take Purah. Purah was a person who was going with Gideon. Like I'm saying, we're human. Gideon took Purah anyway, so he could go listen to the dream. Because you never know, he could have went by himself and they killed him. So they waited that night. They sat down, and we can see that in Gideon 7 verse 15. Judge 7 verse 15. No, Judge 7 verse 13. As I said, Gideon was told to go and go listen. Go listen to something. And it says in 13, it says, Gideon arrived just as a man was telling a friend a dream. I had a dream, he was saying, a round loaf of barley came tumbling into the Midianite camp. It struck the tent with the force that the tent overturned and collapsed. His friend responded, this can't be nothing other than the sword of Gideon, son of Joash, the Israelite. God has given the Midianites and the whole camp into his hand. People can read this and say, oh yeah, God is just telling him he can go now. Mais yo pas connaît. Ça c'est un lot sinon encore that Gideon didn't ask for. Because Gideon could have been like, you know what, Lord, let me get one more sign, please, just one more time before I go in. And God gave him a sign with him not even realizing that was a sign. So when that happened, Gideon told everybody to follow him. Everybody take the trumpets. He said, get up. Everybody take the trumpet. He heard the dream. He came. He était par gloire à bon Dieu parce que lui était ouais. Ça t'est fait. He told him that. And then Gideon took his army. He went back to the camp of Israel. He said, come on guys, let's go. The Lord, it's our time. The Lord has given us our time. He has given us the camp in our hands. The victory was already assured without even Gideon going back to Israel yet. Victoire était assurée même dans même moment. In the same moment, as soon as Gideon heard that dream, he already won. He didn't even realize that. That blessing you was asking for, the things you was looking for, the thing you was seeking, it was right there. You didn't even know it yet. And he went back to Israel. And he took these people with me. He said, you know what? It's our time to go. Watch me, follow me. And then Gideon took his army, the 300 men against 130,000 people. He took his army. And then he got to the edge of the camp. just waiting, waiting, waiting. And then he blew the trumpet. He blew his trumpet very, very loud. Very, very loud. And it drove the men crazy. It drove the men crazy. And he split his army. He split 300 people in 3 ways. It doesn't matter if he did 100, 100, 100, or 50, something else, something else. He split them. Whoever he had, he split them. And then when the people of the Midianites, they heard that trumpet. The trumpet drove them crazy. Everybody's going crazy. They don't know where to go. Everybody's scared. The same Gideon that was hiding behind the wheat, that was hiding behind the tree, God took him and told him, you're going to defeat the Midianites, even though if it's 1 million people. And we see that even if it's 1 million people, you're going to win. It doesn't matter who's against you, you're still going to win. When you're walking with God, it doesn't matter who's against you. Even if it's your brother, your family's against you. When you're with Lord, you're always going to win. And we got to realize that. And once you see that, you're going to make that faith, you're really going to make that change. You're really going to make the fear, you're going to make that change from fear to faith. When people walk around you, they're not going to feel that you're scared of anything because you're still faithful. When things get high, you don't know how you're going to pay this, you don't know how you're going to pay that. Oh, I can't work. The Lord's going to find a way. Work with the Lord and he's going to work with you. Allow the Lord to use you. Allow bon Dieu. Quitte bon Dieu utiliser. Liga aido. Seulement fais confiance en lui. There you go. I'm telling you. He said, so everybody went crazy. 300 men sounded a trumpet very loud. Even though 300 moun capiti devant 130,000, but Léon trumpet sonné. 300 moun sonné on trumpet. It's going to be very, very loud for your ears, for your head. It's going to drive you crazy. If we was to put 300 trumpets in here, and they was to yell out loud, you probably wouldn't even be able to hear that night. So they did so. Everybody's going crazy. Everybody's killing each other. Everybody's trying to run around. Everybody see that they're losing to Gideon. Gideon, a man who was hiding, a man who was scared of everything he did, not even raising swords for real, just off the sounds of the trumpet, just off the power of the Lord. It wasn't Gideon that was fighting out there. It was the Lord using Gideon in order to deliver Israel from the hands of the Midianites. The same Israel that worshiped another God before God. The same Israel that was not paying attention. The same Israel. It's the same Israel that God still delivered no matter what situation it was. And when we see that, we can see the love for God. Look how I move bon Dieu. Parce que bon Dieu toujours là pour nous et là il toujours là pour nous. La délivrer peuple na n'importe qui ça yo. You know? So God is still going to be there with the Israelites, and he's always going to protect them. He's always going to guide them. And that's the word. That's what it is from fear to faith. Everybody running around, as I'm saying, and they pursue everywhere. It's like Gideon is a person, he's going to take over Florida. He takes Orlando, he takes Tampa, he takes Miami. That's the way he's going in. He's going into the camp, he's eliminating anybody who's in front of him. With 300 people, he's eliminating everybody. All the 130,000 men, everybody's running away. Can you imagine that? 130,000 people running away from 300 people? That's like a dog. That's like a dog chasing a cat, or a cat chasing a dog. Or you see a bear running away from a baby. Let me see. On Lyon, a lion running away from me. A lion running away from me. It wouldn't make sense. And people would not realize, how did that make sense? You can call the army strategists. They won't be able to explain to you why they lost right there. You can come up with any strategy. Even if they had the best strategists on the other side, they would have been able to kill 300 people. Not here, not there. Maybe in America, but where Gideon was at, not there. They was not going to be able to kill him, no matter who was on that side. They wasn't going to be able to kill him. And then they captured all the leaders. Everybody was falling left to right. Everybody was falling left to right. Gideon, you can see that his victory was assured. And as I'm saying, Gideon was you can say Gideon was still scared in a bit, because he don't know what's gonna happen next. As he said, everybody, let's go defeat these people. He was still scared. Il était toujours peur. Mais bon, j'étais là. We know that. We're gonna turn and go in. We're gonna go into chapter 8. Gideon had so much faith that God had gave him, that the faith that he had eventually it got to his head. Gédéon te gen en pile la foi. Now, he te gen la foi, he was confident. He was confident he could do whatever he want. Now, he's going around as they're defeating the Midians. Everybody's running away. Gideon, he's still there. He's still chasing the people. And then there was two people called Zebah and Zalmunna. These were leaders that was in the Midianites. He was looking for them. He caught them. He said, hey, who did you guys kill over there? These people had killed many people, many Israelites. He asked them, who did you kill over there? Lord Boa. Those were the brothers of Gideon. As a person who was scared, if somebody was to kill my family, like somebody scared, you wouldn't have that confidence to go up and say, was it you? You probably would have been scared like this, hiding so they don't kill you too. From a person, I would, if I knew Gideon and I seen somebody who was hiding right here, I wouldn't think he was gonna go back over there and try to go confront the people who killed his people. You wouldn't see that. Like, that's like, you wouldn't see somebody, ou pas taper un monde qui tellement shy, I don't even say shy in Creole, qui tellement peur monde, and then leaving sous cher, and la division service. Ou pas taper ça, ou pas taper quoi ça. When the Lord is using you, he will make you transform in ways that people wouldn't believe that you would be able to transform. Like, even how I'm up here today, I wouldn't know if I was going to be up here preaching like this. I remember a man, he said, I see you preaching up here one day. I said, nah, that's not me. It can't be. It can't be. I went home, I said, is it true? He said, I was like, yeah. He said, oh yeah, he see me as a preacher. I said, nah, no way, it can't be. And look at me, I'm up here now, and I'm working for the Lord, I'm working for the youth. It's all glory to God. So as I said, he went up there, and then even though the 300 men are tired and the Midianites are running away, they're still chasing them. They're still chasing them all the way to the end, because God said you're gonna conquer these people, you're gonna eliminate all of them. But there's a but to this. Gideon is a human just like us. Like I said, he had that power. He said, who did you kill over there? Zebah and Zalmunna killed the brothers of Gideon. Zebah and Zalmunna fue Gideon, Gédéon. He killed the brothers. And the Lord took him, he said, Gideon took him, he said, I'm not going to kill you. He said, I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to make my son kill you. But the son, he was young, and he didn't kill him. He said, as the Lord lived, if you had spared the lives of the brothers, I would not kill you. The same Gideon that was hiding, the way he's talking to the people, he said, if the Lord lived, I would have kept you alive. Now he's giving you a sense of, like, it's a sense of like, he's looking, now he's seeking for revenge. That's where Gideon kind of went. That's where Gideon kind of went left and kind of went away from the Lord just a little bit. Well, he went away from the Lord because he was seeking revenge. Now this is something personal. Gideon, he took his purpose and, he switched it in a way. But even though it's still like a walk, you can still label it as a walk from fear to faith, because this was a person that was hiding, a person who would even talk to people, a person who was trying to beat the wheat in order for it to hide it away from the Midianites. Now he's up, he's talking. He said, if the Lord, as surely as the Lord lived, if you had spared the lives, I would not kill you. And then he turned to his oldest son, Jether, to kill him, but Jether did not want to kill him because he was only a boy, a kid, and he was afraid. And then Zebah and Zalmunna said, come do it yourself. As the man, so is his strength. So, as a regular human, Gideon got up, Gideon stepped up, and he killed him. That's why you can see he kind of went left, because he was seeking a personal thing. It was his revenge. But from the beginning, if you took the story back, you look at it from the beginning. Sute gade histoire no commencement, thank you. No commencement. You wouldn't see that Gideon wasn't going to be the person who did this. Like I said, you take somebody, ou prend un monde qui paie monde, li DJ là. Now, oh my gosh, she DJ 1,000 services. She DJ in Haiti. She DJ in Africa. You wouldn't think that. You wouldn't know who did that. You wouldn't even know. Even if you was practicing by yourself and you trying to practice in front of people and say, you know what, let me try to do this. If it's not with the Lord, it's not going to be able to work. So Gideon truly transformed. He really made that a walk. I don't even want to say he walked. He really jumped. He really jumped from fear to faith. He jumped from the people that are oppressing his people, and he was able to make that leap and be able to defeat the people who was oppressing his people. And through that story, there's a lot of things we can learn. We can learn from Gideon. One of the biggest lessons we can learn is to confide in the Lord. Confide in Dieu. You gotta be able to truly put your trust and put your faith in the Lord, even though you can't see it. I know some days it's like, nah, that's not true. I don't really know too much. I can't really put my faith in that. I don't even see this person. How am I going to be able to put my faith in that? You really have to be able to let loose, let go. There are many things that are being done for you, and you don't even know. There's many things that are being done from you. You can't even see it. There are many things that you can be scared of. You don't know how you're going to approach it, but the Lord makes a way. That song, it goes like, Gende baga ufepu wen pa koneyo. There are many things the Lord do for you you don't even know for real. But he's able to, he don't even ask you for much. Just confide with him. Because if you go in the world looking to somebody to confide in, you're not going to find that. And you may think that you're living away from fear, yet fear is always going to be at your door. If you're trying to break your fear off through the way of the world, like, you know what, I'm going to do this. Let me just stay away from this. Let me look on tips on how to do this. That's not going to give you the answer. It's going to send you in a circle like a dog chasing its tail. It's going to send you in a circle like this until you get crazy, until you get tired out. And eventually, as you stop, you're still going to be scared. You was doing all the running around, trying to fight your fear, without even putting the Lord in it. You're going to stay right there until that circle, until you can't go no more, and you're still going to be scared. When you're with the Lord's going to give you that sense of confidence. He's going to say, you can do this. I believe in you. He can send people to say, I believe in you. He can use people just to give you confidence. It's through the Lord I'm able to walk around like this. Like I'm able to preach like I did this like 50 years, like I've been doing this for 50 years. It's only through the Lord I'm able to walk around on the stage and preach to you guys today. Without the Lord, I wouldn't be able to do that. And it says, the Lord can, and another lesson I want to take away from this is that the Lord can call you at any moment. Allow him to use you. The Lord can call you at, 14, 15, 16, 17. He can call you at any age. He can be like, you know what? Hey, I know you're 14, but come over here, come DJ the service. Or, I know you. I see you tapping your feet a little bit. Come play the instruments. Come play instruments. Come give glory to the Lord. You may not believe in yourself. I remember when I first started playing the drums myself. I was kind of scared to touch the drums, even when I was learning it. And it was like through faith and why he said, hey, come on. And I was scared, even though I just played it the way I was able to play it. And now, eventually, I'm able to play the drums how I want to play it. And then I made the switch from the drums to the piano. Even when I started to play the piano, I was still a little bit like, no, there's no way I can be able to play this. I don't know the sounds for real. I don't know what tones I'm going to get to. And eventually, I was able to build up. And now I'm able to use the tones, and I'm able to give glory to God. He can call you. He didn't call you to be perfect. If the Lord was looking for people to be perfect, he would have got them. He would have got them already. He would have said, you know what? You're not qualified. Come on. The Lord can use you, and he can make you qualified. Even if you feel like you're unqualified, the Lord can use you, and he can truly make you qualified. Like I said, I don't know the Bible all the way today. I remember I was teaching the class. We was reading Esther 5. I told them, I said, this is my first time reading Esther 5 with you guys. I never read Esther 5 before. This is my first time I read it with them in the morning. And I was able to use that. And it's like, even though I read it for the first time, it's like, God is using me. He's like, you know, this is what's going on in the book. You can see this, you can do that. That you can really do it if you really put your confidence in and if you really believe. Everything that you're scared about, everything that you may fear, everything that seems to scare you, anything that gives you fear. There's a test you can't pass. I know I'm in that position. There's a test you can't pass. Cast it onto the Lord. But don't simply cast it. You got to work on yourself too. You can't say, let me pass a math test, and you didn't study for math, and you're going to say, you know what, God's going to take it from me. It doesn't work like that. Do what you can. Work on a math that you understand. And if you're able to get that, then you cast it onto the Lord. Then the Lord shall make a way for you. But you're gonna have to put input in order to get output. I like that. So you're scared. Whatever you do, cast everything to the Lord. Give the Lord your heart. Give the Lord your temple. Use your body. You give the Lord your body. Like, give him an offering. Give him your body as a temple for him. And he will use you. Everything that scares you, you can go pray about it tonight. And you just send it all to God. And you work with him. It's not all going to happen in an instant like this. But as time go on, you'll be able to see it as you go. I remember when I first got, converted. I was only 14. And then I got baptized when I was 18. And I waited. I got converted when I was in 9th grade, going into 9th grade, and I got baptized during my graduation year. And from that time, I can say that I'm a person who's able to, I'm able to walk, and I got more confident. I'm able to stand in here, even though my Creole may not be good, but I'm still able to speak the Creole, make you guys laugh, and still preach the word out. God used me, and he can use you too. At all costs, you got to remember the Lord. The Lord can give you power. He can give you strength. But if you forget God, you forget the Lord, that's where you go wrong. He can take all that strength away. And we can even see that through the story of Samson. Samson had all the strength that God gave him. He had all the strength in the world. He was able to rip 1,000 men in the military. He was able to do that. He was able to rip lions with his hands. He got so full of himself. He was full of himself. And what happened? The Lord took his strength away. And he was weak. And he got captured into the hands of the other people. The who? He got taken into the other people. I can't say it right now. But the other people. The Philistines? It was the Philistines. Philistines te pon li. And when Samson realized that, he went wrong. We are human. But the thing that I like about God is you may do wrong to God. You may leave. And he will still allow you to come back. If you was to leave here, you could say God is here, you run out the church. You realize you did wrong. God's not going to lock the doors at times and say, you can't come back in here. There's going to be a time for that because you're going to have to give your life to Christ. But he's going to tell you can come back. I know, but you can come back. No matter how many times you go back and forth, you can come back until it's time. Samson still caught up to God. He still caught up to God no matter what difficulty he was in. He still caught up to God. He said, God, please let me get strength one more time, etc. And God, as being that Lord, he gave him that strength, and he was able to break down the whole thing, killing more people than he killed in his lifetime. And I say don't let it get to your head, because we even seen that in Gideon. Like I said, Gideon went with the confidence he had. The confidence eventually got turned into evil. It got a little smelly. He took that confidence and he went to go get revenge. And the Bible says don't seek revenge, because God is going to be the one to make that just call. He's going to be the one to get revenge for it. You don't got to get revenge on yourself. That's where Gideon went wrong. He went and he got revenge on people he wasn't supposed to get revenge on. And I want to say that the battle is not only your battle. It's not only your battle. That's not what you go through. Let me see how the song goes. It goes, bataille sa, pa bataille pa moi. C'est bataille l'éternel lié. The battle is not the battle is not only your battle. It's the battle of the Lord. Allow God to help you. Allow him to get you. Allow him to help you and guide you throughout what you're going through. Allow him to protect you and ask you to confide in him. Keep on believing in him, because if you wasn't able to believe in him, I don't know what would happen. You wouldn't even be able to walk straight. You always would have walked scared. If you knew how many things was behind you, you would not even want to step outside. Matter of fact, if you knew what was behind you, you wouldn't even want to lift the cover off so you can step out off to the bed. You would have stayed under your covers. You wouldn't even want to move one bit. If you knew what was behind you, you would have stayed just like this and try not to move. Not even try to breathe. You would have stayed still just like this. Only if you knew what was behind you. Because if you didn't have that faith in God, so many things could have been happening to you. Things that you don't know, things that you wouldn't even imagine. You can say you're walking so high you wouldn't even be able to see what things would happen to you. And let me see how I want it. Let me see. There's a Joshua 1:9 says, "Have I not commanded you to be strong and courageous? Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." God is always gonna be with you from the beginning to the end, as long as you follow His orders, as long as you follow what He told you. He's always gonna be with you. He's not gonna leave you. You could probably tell somebody, "Oh yeah," somebody can tell you, "You know what? I'll never leave you, etc. I'm gonna always be with you." They're not God. There's gonna come to a point you treat them a type of way, and then they're gonna be like, "No, I don't know you no more. You can leave me alone." Like, I remember I had asked the class, I said, "If I gave you $100 and I hit you and I say I need $100, will you be able to give me $100? And then everybody in class making an ugly face, I don't think so. I can't give you $100. If God was a person, and then I needed $100, yet I mistreat God, I hit Him this way, I spit on Him, I hit Him, I push Him on the ground, and I ask for $100, God's still gonna give me the $100. That's the character He is. Yes, you're gonna have to pay for certain things, but the Lord is always gonna be with you. I got it. Let me see. And I want to say, as you go on, you should never be scared. You should always protect yourself. You should always guide yourself. Surround yourself with people who have faith. If you're around people who are scared, even if you thought you're not more scared than them, eventually they'll get that scared on you. You eventually be scared to do things. So, for the tips for people who want to make that walk from fear to faith, trust in the Lord. Surround yourself around people who trust in the Lord themselves. And I ask you to guide yourself, walk correctly. Certain things you shouldn't do, you should stay away from those things, because they can cast fears on you, cast insecurities on you. If you're walking around, you're comparing yourself, you're going to be scared on how you look. Don't compare yourself. You are good and you are unique in the Lord's eyes. Allow the Lord to use you. Don't be scared. And eventually, maybe all the youth that is out here today, I might not be the only one preaching no more. Heck, I'll have my other people trying to come preach with me. Or, Jess not going to preach today, CJ going to preach. Or my brother Justin going to preach, Junior going to preach, Ronderson going to preach. One day, we will know. And we'll be able to build an army and build it for the Lord. And let me see how I want to leave you guys. Like I said, don't walk with your head up. Don't walk with your head down. Walk with your head up and know who you believe in and know who you confide in. Let me see. Since I'm based on Jodia and Nuki, you can see how Gideon went from fear to faith. You too can be just like Gideon. Make that leap from fear to faith. Que bon Dieu là avec vous. Amen.
On nous camper pour nous terminer. Dieu capable, fais-le encore et encore et encore. Pas de raison pour crier. Dieu capable, fais-le encore et aujourd'hui éternellement. C'est toujours mon déhat. Pas de raison pour prier. Dieu capable, Dieu capable, fais-le encore et encore et encore. Pas de raison pour prier. Dieu capable, fais-le encore. Yeah, aujourd'hui, éternellement, c'est toujours même océan. Pas de raison pour prier. Dieu capable, Dieu capable, Dieu capable, fais-le encore et encore et encore. Dieu capable faire encore, pas ouais raison ou pas dormir. Dieu capable faire encore, pas ouais raison ou pas manger. Dieu capable faire encore, pas ouais raison ou pas prier. Dieu capable faire encore, Dieu capable faire encore. Et encore, pas ouais raison pour prier. Dieu capable faire encore. Yeah, aujourd'hui, éternellement, c'est toujours même bon Dieu. Pas ouais raison pour prier. Dieu capable faire encore. Pas ouais raison pour prier. Dieu capable faire encore. Pas ouais raison pour plaindre. Dieu capable faire encore. Pas ouais raison pour prier. Dieu capable faire encore. Pas ouais raison ou pas manger. Dieu capable faire encore. Dieu capable faire encore. Et encore, pas ouais raison pour crier. Dieu capable faire encore. Yeah, aujourd'hui, éternellement, c'est toujours même bon Dieu. Pas ouais raison pour prier. Dieu capable faire encore. Amen. Pasteur est là pour la prière finale et bénédiction pour la gloire de Dieu.
Amen. Dieu est capable de faire encore. De faire pour Gédéon. Il a fait pour toute jeune. Nous n'avons pas besoin de peur. Parce que si c'est lui qui est avec nous, nous avons remporté victoire. Seigneur éternel, Dieu trois fois saint. Papa, nous qui dans le ciel là en Jésus-Christ. Nous disons merci pour Jean Remen, nous, mon Dieu. Jean, vous continuez à parler avec cœur. Jean, dans un monde aussi troublé, on a dit nous n'avons pas besoin de peur. Depuis, c'est vous qui avez nous, Seigneur. Victoire, c'est pour nous. Parce que vous, c'est mon Dieu, victoire. Vous te remportez victoire sur tout problème qui vient déjà. Ou éternel, ou pas changer. Vous avez toujours une victoire à tout le monde par vous. N'importe gens, ça y est, ou pas jamais perdu bataille. Vous, c'est le roi des rois, le Seigneur des seigneurs. C'est vous qui avez toujours gagné le dessus, Seigneur. N'a pas d'autant plus souple. Aidez-nous pour nous suspendre peur. Ennemi avec ronfle la fait devant nous. Avec menace que la fait nous. Avec col la patte devant nous, Seigneur. Mais aidez-nous pour nous capables toujours rester en bas d'elle. Parce que vous nous garantit. Depuis nous rester en bas d'elle, rien mal pas qu'arriver nous sans volonté au Seigneur. N'a pas d'autant plus souple. On va continuer à utiliser ces serviteurs-là. On va continuer à travailler dans lui. On va continuer à attirer cœur là où Seigneur. On va continuer à former lui dans l'école Power. Et aider lui papa pour le capable. Oh, un prédicateur international. Côté que dans mon sauveur, dans toute langue, dans plusieurs langues, il y a une possibilité pour comprendre et tendre ça la petite. Parce que vous, c'est mon Dieu. Vous comptez faire merveille. Vous capable d'être dans mon sauveur. C'est vous qui source connaissance, c'est vous qui source toute intelligence. C'est vous-même qui va tout ton parfait, Seigneur. Après d'autant plus, on va continuer à utiliser jeunesse, l'église là, papa. Parce que c'est eux qui l'église demain, en papa. Grand monde, nous avons pour nous aller. Mais c'est eux, Seigneur, qui va assurer survie l'église là. En bas protection, mon Seigneur. On va continuer à on va continuer à faire route avec eux. On va aider au papa pour mettre confiance dans vous. Pour qu'on connaisse, oh, avec ces victoires, avec c'est la gloire et toute gloire, tout honneur, toute louange, toute exaltation. C'est pas toujours pour vous et pour vous-même seul, depuis aujourd'hui jusque dans l'éternité. Vous va être dans mon sauveur, continuer à couvrir et berger l'église là, Seigneur. On va protéger le Seigneur dans côté lié, vous lui-même avec famille, Seigneur. On va sécuriser, on va mener au tourner en bien, papa, de manière que vous êtes capable de venir pour continuer l'œuvre là, pour confier au Seigneur. Nous va être dans mon sauveur. J'ai des bénédictions d'une manière spéciale sur jeunesse l'église là, papa. Aidez au papa pour capable toujours être avec regard fixé sur vous. Pour rien dans le monde là pas détourner au déo, mon Dieu. Aidez-vous pour capable d'engager tout vrai dans la relation avec. Parce que si vous la guerre dans la main, Seigneur, c'est dans la main avenir vous va pas assurer tout le temps. Et laisse ça, même les ennemis en comprendre la fait coup il va perdre du temps. Parce que vous va toujours remporter victoire. Parce que victoire, c'est pour nous qui marcher avec. L'arrivée, Seigneur, connaît que nous allons regagner demeure. Mais n'a pas d'autant que souffler. On va tourner le regard sur si là qui est malade. Si là qui fait accident, on va continuer à toucher. On va continuer à faire merveille dans la vie, mon Dieu. On va être dans mon sauveur, permettre qu'on va reprendre santé. Et on va même pouvoir avoir besoin, Seigneur, dans la situation que vous avez. L'autre qui la caille, l'autre qui est dans le nursing room, l'autre qui est dans l'hôpital, Seigneur. Où est-ce qu'on a adresse, qu'on a une situation. N'a pas d'autant plus souffler. On va intervenir, on va y la santé. Comme ça, on va venir dans le temple là, pour capable de témoigner grandeur. C'est pour nous bénir, louer, exalter, glorifier, magnifier dans la vie, nous, depuis aujourd'hui, jusque dans l'éternité. Au nom de Jésus, nos prières. Recevons la bénédiction. Que le Dieu de paix vous sanctifie lui-même tout entier. Et que tout votre être, l'esprit, l'âme et le corps soient gardés irrépréhensibles jusqu'à l'avènement de notre Seigneur Jésus-Christ, à qui soit la gloire, la puissance et l'honneur dès avant tous les temps et maintenant, jusqu'au siècle des siècles. Allez en paix, que Dieu vous bénisse tous. Bonne semaine avec Jésus.